Why humans laugh? What makes us human? Every emotion has a purpose. Every behavior has a story. Have you ever noticed something strange? Sometimes the hardest day of your life can end with the biggest laugh you've had in months. How is that possible? How can one tiny moment completely change the way you feel? This is the story of one ordinary day that almost everyone has experienced in one form or another. It was Friday, and Adam had been waiting for this day all week. He had an important meeting with senior management that could finally earn him the promotion he had worked toward for years. Everything had to be perfect. He ironed his shirt the night before, prepared every slide, practiced what he wanted to say, and even left home 30 minutes early. Today was supposed to be his day, but life had other plans. A few blocks from work, traffic suddenly came to a complete stop. An accident had closed the road ahead. Adam watched the clock as the minutes slowly slipped away. 5 minutes became 10, 10 became 20. His heart raced with every passing second. By the time he finally reached the office, he was already late. He grabbed his laptop, papers, and a cup of coffee and hurried toward the meeting room. Just as he reached the door, someone inside opened it unexpectedly. The door hit the coffee cup, sending the entire drink straight onto Adam's white shirt. Everyone standing nearby looked at him. One coworker asked, "Are you okay?" Adam forced a smile and quietly replied, "I'm fine." But inside, he didn't feel fine at all. He rushed into the washroom and tried everything to remove the stain, but it wouldn't come out. With no time left, he walked into the meeting wearing a shirt covered in coffee stains. Throughout the presentation, he couldn't stop thinking that everyone was staring at his shirt instead of listening to him. He stumbled over a few words, forgot one important point, and by the time the meeting ended, he was convinced he had ruined the biggest opportunity of his career. The rest of the day felt heavy. Every little mistake from that morning kept replaying in his mind. That evening, Adam wanted nothing more than to go home, sit on the couch, and forget the entire day. But his wife reminded him that it was his nephew's 8th birthday. "I really don't feel like going," Adam sighed. "Just stay for an hour," she smiled. "It'll be good for you." Reluctantly, he agreed. The house was filled with excited children running around, parents chatting, balloons everywhere, and cheerful music playing in the background. Adam quietly sat in the corner with a soft drink in his hand, still thinking about the morning. Then everyone gathered as his nephew proudly walked into the room carrying a large birthday cake. The family clapped and cheered. Halfway across the room, the little boy suddenly tripped over absolutely nothing. For one terrifying second, the cake flew into the air. The entire room froze. Someone gasped. Everyone watched as the cake landed. Perfectly. On Grandpa's lap. Silence. Nobody moved. Adam thought, this is going to end badly. Grandpa slowly looked down at himself. Chocolate frosting covered his shirt, his pants, and even his glasses. He calmly scooped a little icing onto his finger, tasted it, smiled, and said, "Well, at least now nobody has to cut me a slice." For a brief second, the room stayed silent. Then laughter exploded everywhere. The children laughed until tears rolled down their faces. The adults laughed just as hard. Even Grandpa laughed louder than anyone else. Within moments, what could have been the most embarrassing part of the birthday became everyone's favorite memory. Adam laughed too, really laughed. The kind of laugh that makes your stomach hurt. For the first time that day, he forgot about the traffic, the coffee stain, the presentation, and every little thing that had gone wrong. Nothing had actually changed, but somehow, everything felt lighter. On the drive home, Adam looked at his wife and asked, "Why did that feel so good?" She smiled, because nobody cared that the cake fell. They cared about how Grandpa reacted. If Grandpa had become angry, everyone would have felt uncomfortable. But because he laughed, he gave everyone else permission to laugh too. Adam stayed quiet for the rest of the drive. He realized something. That morning, he had spent hours replaying one embarrassing moment in his mind. Grandpa had experienced an even more embarrassing moment and turned it into a room full of smiles. The following Monday, Adam received an email from his manager. His hands shook as he opened it. To his surprise, he hadn't lost the opportunity after all. In fact, one sentence stood out. "Your presentation wasn't perfect, but we appreciated how calmly you handled a stressful morning." Adam smiled. At that moment, he understood something he would never forget. People rarely remember the small mistakes we make. They remember how we react to them. Life doesn't always go according to our plans. Sometimes we leave home early and still get stuck in traffic. Sometimes we prepare for weeks, only for everything to go wrong in a matter of seconds. Sometimes the day we expect to be perfect becomes the day everything seems to fall apart. But that's life. We can't control every situation. We can't stop every accident or every mistake. What we can control is how we respond. Not every problem needs panic. Not every mistake needs tears. Sometimes the best thing we can do is pause, take a deep breath, smile, and laugh it out. More often than not, things have a way of working themselves out. Maybe not exactly the way we imagined, but often much better than we expected. Maybe that's why humans laugh. Not because life is always funny, but because laughter reminds us that one bad moment doesn't have to ruin the entire day. One unexpected laugh can turn embarrassment into a memory, stress into a story, and strangers into friends. The moments we try hardest to forget often become the stories we laugh about for years. So the next time life doesn't go as planned, don't be too hard on yourself. Relax. Take a deep breath. If you can, laugh a little. Because sometimes laughter isn't a sign that life is perfect. It's a sign that you've chosen not to let one difficult moment define your entire day. Every emotion has a purpose. Every behavior has a story. If you enjoyed this story and it made you smile or reminded you of someone, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below.